Matthew Morris, Wood Studio. Today is Wednesday, October 7th, which means it's time for another weekly shop update. So what has been going on in the shop this week? Well, I released a couple of videos about what's been going on. The first one I released, which was a first part of a two-part video series I'm planning on releasing. The first part was getting my shop clean and what I do after a project. So in that video, I took all of the templates and jigs and everything else from the Gamble House rocking chair project, and a few actually that were left over from the living room armchair project, and boxed those guys up and put them away and then cleaned out the shop. So you can watch that video over here, I believe. One of the two places. I'll put a link in the card for that. And the other video I put out, which was me getting the lumber for the Gamble House inspired coffee table, because there was no such thing as a coffee table in the early 1900s. So coffee tables are a new thing. That's why I'm saying it's inspired, because there's not really a coffee table in the house to build a replica of. So I'm taking elements from the library table and a side table in the hallway and combining those elements and a little bit of my own tweak on the whole thing and coming up with this project. So this project is just about ready to start. As I said, the lumber is back here. Now I'll put a link up for that video as well. One of these two places. But now normally I would let the lumber acclimate to my shop, and most of the time I buy lumber that's actually in the rough. But for these projects for the online school, what I've been thinking of is that you guys may not have access to the rough lumber that I do. So what I'm trying to do is buy lumber that you could get at a Woodcraft or a Rockler or another like small lumber yard or something like where I went. Now the other big thing happening for me as far as online school is that this Friday and Saturday at the Woodcraft in Ventura, they're having their annual vendor fair, and I was invited. Thank you to Bill and Wendy at Woodcraft in Ventura for inviting me to have a booth where I can sell some online classes, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. They're great people. It's a great store. It's the closest dedicated woodworking store near my house. It's about 30 to 35 minutes northwest up the 101 in Ventura. So I'm going to be there from, I believe, well, I'm getting there like at 8 to set up. I think it's from 10 to 4 on Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday. So if you want to come out, hang out, check out some really cool stuff, come on out if you're in the area. So here's my question of the week for you guys. What do you do with the excess lumber that you have after you're finished with the project? For me, after this Gamble House rocking chair project, I've got a whole bunch of 8-quarter lumber in here that I really don't know what to do with. These guys are left over, and the grain pattern isn't anything I particularly may want to use. Actually, this could be maybe on the coffee table somewhere. But what do you guys do with your lumber when you're done with a project? Do you store it? Do you cut it up? Use it for firewood? Do you give it to friends? And what do you do with the excess stuff that you just don't need anymore? So I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Greatly appreciated. And I'm really enjoying all the feedback you guys are giving me with the answers to the question of the week for you guys. It's great interacting with you with those questions, so I really appreciate you guys answering them and taking the time. That's pretty much it for the shop this week. As always, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and have a great week in the shop.